Take 2. This is the Italy story. Oh, and now my computer's trying to detach. Nice. All right. So, God lined up everything for us to go to Italy the easy way. But are we in Italy?
In our dreams. I'm not gonna lie.
That means no.
No,
We're not in Italy.
All right, and so here's why.
Yeah. In January 2026, God had everything lined up perfectly for us to be able to meet the core requirements for Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Our bank records matched up perfectly. We had someone offer us a place to stay for 3 or 4 months. The first 3 or 4 months we'd be there. We had the money to do the application, of course. We got the date we wanted for the Italian consulate in Miami on January 9th instead of March 2nd, which was the original appointment they offered.
Mm-hmm.
We submitted the documents during the appointment. It turns out it's not really an interview style appointment. It's just hand us all your stuff. They said they'll email with anything different. Then they did email. They said we needed to provide additional documentation. A bunch of tax stuff, proof of housing, registered contract for housing for the entire year. Digital nomad visa is a year long. It's not up to a year long. It's a year long. And they wanted proof of housing for the entire year we were there, registered with the tax authorities, all that stuff. And they wanted what I jokingly call proof of being remotely valuable. So, am I valuable to employers or clients? And can I do my work remotely?
Mm-hmm.
And is this equivalent to a 4-year college degree?
Before you go on, I want to chime in here to say, I don't know if we have ever told them why Italy. God said to us right as we were preparing to leave Asheville and sell everything and all of that stuff, He told us we could pick where we wanted to go. He gave us that lovely option.
Yeah.
And we chose Italy. Now, one of the reasons why we went to Jamaica first is so Jeremy could have met my family, but also because we were initially thinking that I could get a Schengen visa.
A regular Schengen visa.
Regular Schengen
as
visa.
As Jamaicans need to do, as Americans don't need to do.
Yeah, that would have been that would have given me access to Italy for 90 days. And what was interesting is that the thing that they decided not to accept my application. And it was really funny because the things that was a problematic for them was only a problem because I had been obedient to the Lord around certain things.
Yeah.
Going certain places, doing certain things a particular way, etc., etc.
Basically, at the German embassy in Jamaica, which handles the Italian business, throwback, right? They said they weren't even they wouldn't even accept the paperwork in Jamaica because she couldn't prove she had been in Jamaica for 6 months, the most recent 6 months. Well, there's no way we're going to get around that. She hadn't been there. They wanted her to prove strong ties to Jamaica. So, do you live here still? No.
And not really. I come and go, sort of thing. But I mean, that was for our good because after that we were like, all right, God, so what do we do next? And one of the things he said is go for what you really want.
Yep.
Like, don't beat around the bush and settle for 90 days when you want a year. And so when we looked back, that's when we realized, oh, if Jeremy applied for the digital nomad visa, then he could put me on as his dependent. And so this is us beating the arrows against the ground. Right? And so now fast forward to us getting the request for additional documentation on round 3.
Yeah, I guess so. And that was when I stopped beating the arrows against the ground. So tax stuff is nightmarish for me. Or it was until I did all of that stuff.
Capability! Woohoo!
And She was very encouraging, but got it knocked out, and it was a lot. There was a lot of filing and refiling and extra schedules and stuff like that. The proof of housing stuff. This was really where we got hung up for the most part. The proof of being remotely valuable was infamously intricate, as their bureaucracy is world renowned for being. But God told us we're meant to be in Italy. So we had faith for that. But I did not have the speed. I did not operate with speed. We're learning a lot about obeying immediately when God says do it right away. And that was one of the biggest lessons in learning this. There were some significant consequences to my delay. Delayed obedience is disobedience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this one hit hard.
And it's really funny because even while you were building the capability to do the thing, and we're getting hung up on, but God, we don't know how we're going to meet the housing requirement. And he was saying to us, just focus on doing the piece that you have control over. Stay out of my business, right? One of the things that he was teaching me was how to trust my husband, right? And that was a huge deal for me because one of the things he told me is your husband is a slow-paced guy. You're a fast-paced girl, right? And so it was developing that space of getting to that place where I'm not being anxious because Jeremy is not moving as fast as I would if I was in that situation, or being the one to handle that stuff. Taking my hand out of the pie, because that was one of the things God taught me last year. Like, there are things that Jeremy is meant to do. I'm not meant to do it for him, so stay out of that. And still being able to not be anxious at whatever pace he is doing it at. And trusting that God, who all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord, even when this is delayed.
Even when it's a difficult lesson.
Even when
he's still working it for our good.
Yeah. And so we have seen where this has really stretched your understanding of what you're capable of doing or what you're capable of handling, which has been
taxes.
That was a lot of admin.
That's the worst of the admin.
Right, so fast forward, what happened in March? So I think they gave us like a 28 days. What was it? I don't remember how long. I don't remember. They gave us a certain period to get back the information to them by. And in March, towards the end of March, the Lord told me that It was March 13th that he told you. So mid-March. The Lord told me that they were going to send back Jeremy's passport. So I'm like, all right, cool. And so in that last week, we were trying to hustle up to get things done because maybe... And
then the next day, he told you the window is closing.
Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten
the window that. With the Italians is closing was the wording that you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we tried to hustle up. Didn't get all the stuff done. Mm-mm. And then we went to Georgia. And when we got to Georgia, ta-da! The passport was waiting. Yeah.
And the visa denial, or the application denial, was waiting.
And that was hard.
That was very hard. Yeah. God showed us some things about that we're going to have to do it the hard way now. We've got to rebuild our bank account to be able to show the income that they want us to have, with a digital nomad and a dependent. Mm-hmm. That's not the worst thing in the world, but it takes some time to show stability, and we've been God's had us on a journey of instability and
Financially.
great learning. Yeah. And so we've been moving around a lot, which is expensive, and we've been trusting him for every bit of finances, and he knew what he was about to have us do. We told you recently about the Grand Canyon. Some trust in horses, some trust in chariots.
That was Jamaica,
You trust
baby.
Yeah, but Grand Canyon was when he did it.
You trust in Capital One. Sorry, I interrupted you again.
You tell it.
Oh yeah, some trust in horses, some trust in chariots, and you trust in Capital One.
But I'm going to make you completely dependent on me. And that has meant we are completely dependent on him for tomorrow's money a lot of times. It's about as stressful regarding money as either of us have ever felt. As long as we choose to be stressed out by it. Mm-hmm. It's all about beliefs. It all goes back to that. But the easy window is over for Italy. So it's going to be a while before we make it there. We have to build really solid proof of that income, and we have to reapply. And it's not we know God will line it up for us again in his timing, and he's told us we're meant to be there. So we're not worried about this. But there was serious grief involved, experiencing the consequences of that delay. And we now believe if we had done the parts we knew how to do in a timely manner, if we had done the parts that God said to do, which his order of operations is not our order of operations. If we had done it in his order, he would have set up the next step when he decided to set up the next step, and we would be in Italy now.
Yeah.
That's a very hard thing to accept, to understand. It may not be, I mean, his ways are higher than ours. Yes, we have free will. Yes, those who are predestined are called, etc., etc. And I mean, God sees time differently than we do. He's outside of time. It's hard to experience this and not get into, oh, so now we're experiencing God's second best for us because of our disobedience. I don't really believe that. I believe he's built a new best for us. But this has been a very difficult thing, the Italy thing, and we've delayed a long time in speaking about it, and God's brought it back up. Like, I told you.
You go do that video.
I told you to do this video. And so when did he first say to do the video? This video?
This was like April.
So yeah, 3 months later, and we're obeying immediately when he brings it back up to us. So
yeah. And so I think it's this here is, it's an encouragement it's a reminder for us, and I think this is a place for an encouragement for you, anyone who watches this video. There are consequences to delaying doing what the Lord has told you to do. There are really easy windows and there are hard windows, right? When God tells you to do something now, it's the easy window, best believe, right? Yeah. And there's something that he keeps teaching us now, which is stop trying to own his part.
Yeah, I want to touch on that for a second. When we say the easy window, we don't mean that it's an easy path. Mm-hmm. We mean that it's the fastest path to growing through what he wants to grow you through.
Yeah.
I delayed his growth in me because of my disobedience. And so he's giving us other opportunities to learn the same things and to grow in the same ways, and he'll use it and redeem it. But I didn't have to. I didn't have to disobey. I didn't have to wait. I didn't have to lose on that. and it wasn't his will that I lose, but he let me do it. So it's been a faith builder even in the grief around it. And it's not the most intense grief in the world, because he said we're meant to be there. It's just not right now. So yeah, it's been complex.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think the final one is own your part. Stop trying to own the piece that is God's, because there's a lot of times we're looking at the thing that God has said and we're thinking, but God, there are all of these 10 pieces involved, and I can't see how these 5 of the 10 pieces will actually be done, because this is beyond what I am capable of or what I can see a logical way to doing. And he's like, will you just do the one piece that I've told you to do and leave the rest to me? Like, my ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. And so it's been a lesson that he started teaching us all the way back in February. And he keeps bringing it up. Even as last week or week before last,
sure.
in different ways that we're learning his ways are not our ways. And so I think that's the Italy story. So right now we are in Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas.
And God is still doing amazing things here.
I'm amazed. Are you amazed?
I am shook. And we'll be telling you guys in the next video about some of the things that shook us to the core. Like, even just today, something happened. I was kind of like,
that wasn't to the core, though.
It made me cry.
Yeah, you cry a lot. It's okay.
You cry more. We love you.
Bye.